Colonialism per se was not about political power. It was about economic power. It was about siphoning out the raw materials to feed into the industries of the West. And this has not stopped. Even though we have been moving towards wanting to trade with the rest of the world, the issue of commodities trade has remained pronounced, literally because it has been the status quo right from the beginning, that Africa produces raw materials, the rest of the world adds value to them, and they come back to Africa as finished products. The Africa mining vision is essentially the centerpiece of the commodity strategy. It was developed as a blueprint to allow the mineral resources to play their transformative role in social and economic structure transformation, to contribute to industrial development. When you look at most of our African countries, they have minerals. But our mineral sector is composed mainly of what I may call external investors. We have, on the other side, artisan and small-scale miners who are scraping the soil for a livelihood, but at the same time, who are our Africa's private sector. So the Africa mining vision looks at, you want to export some of your raw materials. If you export your raw materials, use the money, develop the infrastructure, which are side stream linkages, and build industries for those sectors you want to develop. In this paradigm shift, we need to relook on how do we define our investment policy. Maybe the next investment you need is not outside there, but is in the next country. When most of the countries who gained independence tried import substitution, it didn't work. Others, like Tanzania, tried African socialism to give African powers on economic trend. It didn't work. What the missing link was creating an African demand for the same commodities that we produce and which we consume. And the demand is there. The reason we have not been able to command the demand setting is because we have not focused, and our countries have not focused on setting up policies and creating an environment, not for attracting foreign direct investment, but for setting up industries. Africa is at crossroads as we speak. They are stuck on whether we continue with the status quo of trading with our raw materials, or whether we change the narrative, rewrite the narrative, we shift the paradigm on how can we achieve the aspirations of the people, which are contained in the voice of the Africans as in Agenda 2063. The commodities come from Africa. When you say Intel, everybody goes. When you say Apple, everybody goes. When you say Microsoft, when you say Samsung, nobody recognizes Africa. Now, if we can, at least in the next 10 years, try to add value to those commodities that we can control competitively, then we shall have our own terms and we shall control the economy of the world, and we have that potential.